Welcome in. My name is Naya Ortiz.
And I'm Elijah Sutton.
And on to today's news. As of right now, an investigation is still ongoing into a hit-and-run accident that happened last Thursday, injuring two pedestrians. A male and female were walking across the street of College Avenue by East 15th Street when they were struck by the front passenger side of a vehicle by a woman driving an SUV. The pedestrians that were involved were immediately dazed and injured upon impact. Home surveillance footage shows the driver of the vehicle pulling over on East 15th Street to pick something up from the road after hitting the two pedestrians frantically and hands the victims a blanket before taking off. A nearby resident saw the victims after they had been hit and called 911. That same resident tried to assess what had happened and noticed she caught the whole thing with her home surveillance. IMPD has yet to release any further updates on this investigation.
In other news, a 33-year-old man from Indianapolis has been sentenced to 35 years in federal prison after pleading guilty to sexual exploitation of a child and possession of child sex abuse material. According to court documents, Dustin Rose engaged in sexually explicit conduct with 3 children and took photographs of the conduct. Police say over the course of 2 years, Rose repeatedly fondled the breast of another girl while she was asleep in her bedroom. The victim was said to be under 12 years old and a relative of a woman Rose was dating. In August of 2022, Rose's relationship with that woman ended and he moved out of the house. After Rose moved out, the woman found a micro SD card that belonged to Rose. The woman viewed the contents of the micro SD card and found multiple sexually explicit images. In October of 2022, IMPD officers arrested Rose, seizing a cell phone that he was holding. Investigators found multiple sexually explicit images depicting a young girl who was 3 to 4 years old as Rose was touching the child in her pubic area. Officers said Rose's phone even had a Dropbox account containing multiple images and videos of unknown children, including prepubescent children being raped and sexually abused. In total, Rose possessed more than 600 images of child sexual abuse material.
And a tragic accident occurred on I-465 when a motorcycle crash claimed the life of an Indianapolis man. Indiana State Police dispatchers began receiving multiple 911 calls about a serious crash involving a motorcycle on the ramp from I-465 northbound to I-69 northbound. Upon arrival, first responders found an unresponsive adult male lying in the right lane of the ramp and was pronounced dead at the scene. He was later identified by the Marion County Coroner's Office as 23-year-old Jason Reinhart. Preliminary information led investigators to believe the motorcycle driver was driving at high rates of speed when he lost control of his motorcycle. Upon further investigation, high speeds were the cause of the crash and impairment was not a factor in this case. The ramp from I-465 northbound to I-69 was closed for 3 hours during the investigation. The ramp has since been opened and Reinhart left behind a fiance and she was pregnant with 2 twins.
IMPD is currently investigating a fatal shooting that occurred early Sunday morning on the east side of Indianapolis. 1 individual is dead while 5 others, including an IMPD officer, sustained injuries. The incident unfolded shortly after 1:30 a.m. in the 9400 block of East Washington Street after receiving calls of gunfire. Upon arrival, law enforcement discovered 4 men and a woman with gunshot wounds. Officers on the scene administered medical aid to the victims until medical personnel arrived. IMPD is asking anyone with information to call Detective Sergeant Michael Duke at the Homicide Office at 317-327-3475 or call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS.
And last Tuesday, Indiana State Police reported that they seized over $1 million worth of drugs on a routine traffic stop. A state trooper stopped a semi-truck along I-70 near mile marker 41 close to Cloverdale. The traffic stop was supposed to just be a routine Department of Transportation compliance inspection until the trooper reportedly observed, quote, suspicious behaviors during a conversation with the driver. The driver, however, consented to a search of the vehicle where the officer discovered 70 pounds of cocaine, 45 pounds of marijuana, and nearly $50,000 in cash concealed within the trailer. The driver was apprehended and transported to Putnam County Jail on preliminary charges of trafficking narcotics and marijuana, which are both felonies. ISP disclosed that the truck was en route from Los Angeles to Indianapolis.
In the other side of Indy, a 15-year-old male from Brownsburg, Indiana, has been charged as an adult with murder, aggravated battery, and dangerous possession of a firearm. The charges stem from an incident on March 5th where a blue 2008 Honda Civic crashed into a house that had a fatally wounded 20-year-old identified as Carlos Hair Neri Guzman inside. Investigators found a 9mm Glock pistol and a cell phone in the vehicle. Officers were able to trace the tire marks to a nearby parking lot where security footage implicated 15-year-old Jeremy Allen Briscoe as the shooter. Briscoe was apprehended at a home on McLean Drive where a search warrant uncovered 2 guns, one of which lacked several numbers, which is known as a ghost gun. After refusing to cooperate with police, Briscoe was detained and transferred to the juvenile detention center, and his initial court appearance is scheduled for tomorrow, March 28th.
Goodness, just 15 years old, that's tough to hear. Well, coming up, we'll take a look at the surreal moments when a bridge collapsed in Detroit yesterday morning and talk about a potential warm-up headed our way with meteorologist Maddie Fisher. All next on Uindytv News.
So the overall mission here at Flannel House, Indy, is to help with the development and growth, the self-efficiency and self-sufficiency of the near northwest side of Indianapolis. When the Double 8s closed in the area, that left the near northwest side a food desert. So Brandon Cosby, the executive director of Flannel House, started with the Flannel House Farms, where they grow fresh produce organically for the neighborhood around. And then later on down the line, Cleo's came about. So we're here to help with the sustainability of getting fresh food at cheap prices to the locals around. Black owned, black ran. That's the gist of Cleo's for the most part.
Welcome back in. As of right now, the U.S. Coast Guard has unfortunately announced they presume at least 6 missing people of the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsing as deceased after hours of searching in Baltimore's waters last night. Guards have now transitioned into the recovery phase, hoping to help those who have been affected by this tragedy. CNN's Jason Carroll takes a deeper dive into our nation's other deadly bridge collapses and brings us more on the latest incident.
Video shows the moment the cargo ship slammed into Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge, causing it to collapse into the Patapsco River after it lost engine and electrical. And we now know the 6 victims were part of a road crew working on the bridge at the time of the accident. That includes Maynor Yasir Sowaso Sandoval. A family member tells CNN the married father of 2 from Honduras had been in the U.S. for over 18 years and started his own maintenance company. Officials say the other missing workers are from Guatemala, El Salvador, and Mexico. Maryland Governor Wes Moore issuing a promise to their families as the operation turned from a rescue to a recovery. The Port of Baltimore remains closed. More than 1,000 members of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers are expected to assist in debris removal to get a shipping channel open. On Tuesday, President Joe Biden said he wants the federal government to pay for the full cost of rebuilding the bridge with help from Congress. Advisors say it's still too early to know how long that could take. In Baltimore, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Thanks so much, Jason. A 57-year-old man from Oregon faces multiple felony charges for allegedly drugging his daughter's 12-year-old friends with sedatives and spiked smoothies during a sleepover on August 25th of last year, 2023. Michael Maiden is the man facing these felony charges after the girls were hospitalized and tested positive for a common anxiety medication known for its sedative effects. While the motive behind Maiden's actions remains unclear, court records show he is charged with 3 felony counts related to administering controlled substances to minors and 3 misdemeanor counts of delivering controlled substances to minors. Maiden's attorney maintains his client's innocence, emphasizing the need to withhold judgment until all evidence is presented.
In other news, an iconic owl in New York tragically passed away following a collision with a building in Manhattan last month. It has since been revealed that Flacco the owl had pre-existing health issues that may have played a role in the incident. The Central Park Zoo disclosed that Flacco's autopsy findings showed he had severe pigeon herpes virus due to consuming pigeons, along with exposure to 4 varieties of rat poisons. The zoo also reported that further testing revealed traces of DDE in Flacco's system, which is a prohibited pesticide when utilized for insect extermination. The incident occurred last month when he collided with a building on West 89th Street in New York following his escape from a vandalized enclosure at the Central Park Zoo last year. Flacco was frequently sighted leaving freely and joyfully exploring the Big Apple.
In other news from New York, several women have come forward on social media sharing incidents in which they said they were punched by men while they were walking the streets of downtown Manhattan in broad daylight in the last month. Multiple videos which were uploaded to TikTok have picked up traction in the last week, with the women online sharing their safety concerns in comments and reply videos. One woman said she was assaulted walking home from class. Another said she was assaulted on her way to work. A third woman said she was attacked walking her dog. At least 2 of the women described suspects with similar characteristics as well. New York police said Tuesday they are investigating 2 recent incidents of women being assaulted. While police wouldn't confirm that the incidents described in the TikTok videos are those that they are investigating, they shared that they're looking into 2 cases that are very similar to accounts posted on social media. Officials say it's unclear whether the 2 incidents they are investigating are connected.
A mother from Carmel is now advocating for an expansion of Duchenne muscular dystrophy screenings after her son had been diagnosed with the disease. Duchenne muscular dystrophy is a neuromuscular disease that is genetic and is carried by the mother, then usually passed down to a son. The disease requires around-the-clock care, and many families have to make cosmetic changes to their homes to ensure safety for their children. DMD presents itself with muscular weaknesses and learning disabilities. Since her son's diagnosis, Mindy Cameron works to help her son and others navigate life with the disease through her work as an advocate alongside the Muscular Dystrophy Family Foundation. Cameron shared that the impact on families can be huge, with the average life expectancy for someone with DMD averaging around their mid-20s. But she does feel that the treatment plans are better today than they have ever been, which could extend the life expectancy exponentially for these families.
Now let's get it over to Maddie, where she hopefully tells us we have some warmer temps coming our way. Hey, Maddie.
I'm trying my best, but as much as I'd like to control the weather, I cannot. What I can tell you is we're going to take a look at tonight and the rest of this week. Starting tonight, this is going to be the coldest day that we have this week. We're going to hit down to a low of about 37 tonight. Clear skies, our high of the day is actually about 50 somewhere in there. We're going to be around that high later this afternoon. As you can see, we start in the high 40s, we end up in the high 30s with a chance for some frost on your vehicle tomorrow morning. Taking a look at the rest of the week, again, that high today, 49. We're going to hit a low of 31 later this evening. 58 Thursday, 67 Friday, 68 on Saturday. A chance for rain, however, coming back into the forecast, bringing a little bit of colder air as we start off next week. So I'm trying my best, Naya. I'm afraid I can't make the weather happen, but a little bit warmer. Maybe throw on some shorts later on this week. Back to you guys.
I mean, I'll give you an A for effort, I guess, Maddie. We got some warmer temps coming, so, you did give me what I asked. Any plans this weekend while it's going to be a little warm?
I was going to say, I think I'm going to try to just stay at the house or maybe go on the porch maybe. I don't want to go out too much. It's Easter. It's Easter
exactly.
this weekend.
Enjoy the time with your family, folks.
Exactly.
Well, as we know, March Madness is in full effect, and some viewers are feeling the pain of some of those brackets just falling apart. I can't relate, though. Our sports reporter, Charles Foster, has the latest in all the madness here on Uindytv News.
We'll leave it to our actual athletes. Watch UIndyTV's live sports broadcast on GLVCSN and YouTube.
There's often a moment when you're helping somebody with math where they just suddenly get over that little barrier and they get it. It's a nice aha moment, and I really like being involved in helping students achieve that moment, and we do get a lot of those here in the tutoring lab.
In some local UIndy news, after 4 years at the helm of UIndy basketball program, Paul Crosaro has sadly stepped down as head coach and will be taking the head coaching job across town at IUPUI. The move comes after 4 years of success at UIndy, recording a 79-37 record and 2 regular season GLVC championships. He also was named GLVC Coach of the Year and NABC Coach of the Year for the 2022 and 2023 season. The Jaguars of IUPUI, soon to be known as IU Indianapolis, are looking to turn their entire program around after a 6-26 record last year, and they feel that Crosaro is the man for the job. The IU Indianapolis Director of Athletics claims their search for a head coach saw Coach Crosaro at every turn and he is confident in his ability to recruit and develop players. Crosaro is quoted saying, "We will win. We will win quickly. We will win the right way, the ethical way, and we will make the city of Indianapolis proud of the Jaguar basketball program." As he makes this step up to the Division I level, Coach Crosaro leaves his mark on UIndy as a former 2-sport athlete, a 2-time graduate of UIndy, and an undeniably passionate head basketball coach, and we wish him the best as his career progresses. You will be missed, Coach.
Definitely. OMG, I'm going to remember all the interviews I did with him.
I was about to say, I'm going to miss interviewing him.
Yes, like that was one of the most fun. I mean, trust me, your knees were probably shaking because he's just so intense during the games. But I mean, that's why he's just so good at his job.
I was going to say, I think I sweated through every shirt every time I interviewed him, but
Yes,
it was always the best interview I
It was normal, you weren't alone. Well, for more in sports, we are joined by reporter Charles Foster. Boy, has it been a week with all the madness.
Absolutely, Naya. Thank you very much. It's late March, and you guys know what that means. That's right, more March Madness. And this tournament has been a pretty solid one so far as we advance to the Sweet 16. So far, not too many upsets other than Yale completely ruining my bracket and Oakland upsetting Kentucky. But as we move on, let's look at some of the biggest matchups. First one we have is a rematch of last year's final between San Diego State and, of course, the winners, UConn, who will be facing in a 1-seed versus 5-seed matchup. UConn right now is the current favorite to win the entire tournament and go back-to-back, but San Diego State looks to change that. On top of that game, we have the home state Purdue Boilermakers versus the Gonzaga Bulldogs. The Zags were actually the favorite of the favorites to lose out of the first round against McNeese, and they have proved everyone wrong as they have dominated their first 2 games. Now they go against the 7-4 monster Zach Edey and his first-seeded Boilermakers in a game many IU fans on campus are praying is an upset. Speaking of upsets this year, the women's bracket has, well, not had many. If you picked 1 seed and sprinkled in a few upsets as they came, you would probably have a perfect bracket, but that's enough of that. This year has still been one of the most intriguing for the women's side because Caitlin Clark has been an amazing draw for all fans and was able to say goodbye to her Iowa crowd as she moved on to her last game there. This Iowa team has now moved on to the next round and will no longer be playing at home. But the biggest question is, will they be the winners that Caitlin Clark is looking for that last title before she eventually hits the draft this offseason, or one of the other top teams like South Carolina or Notre Dame knock them out in full March fashion? But speaking of March, we are now 1 day away from opening day of America's favorite pastime. The MLB season will officially begin in America, as every team in the league will be playing in their first series. Right now, the odds-on favorite to win it all is, of course, the LA Dodgers, who picked up half of free agency pool this summer. But speaking of the Dodgers, there have been some drama in the LA clubhouse as the season begins. Shohei Ohtani's interpreter was dismissed from the team for millions of dollars in debt from illegal sports betting. Now, for most part, this would not be an issue. You can always get different translators seeing that they've already replaced the one before. But now the MLB has launched an investigation on the possibility of Shohei Ohtani being the one behind the betting. I, of course, will remain impartial and pray for a speedy trial and investigation, and I hope Shohei Ohtani can go back to being the best in baseball. The NBA season is gearing up for a close as the Pacers are doing good towards the end of the season. The team struggled through the past few weeks and has kind of looked to turn things around after clinching a play-in spot. Now all that really remains for them is the Pacers hoping to get secured playoff spot and allow themselves a 7-game series opposed to just a 1 with a chance of losing at any time. That's all I have today. Thank you guys. Back to you.
Man, Charles talking about the Pacers. You make me want to buy Pacers tickets right now.
Yes, I told my fiance we need to go to at least one game. I went to a game last year. I try to go to a game every year.
Did you get to go this year at all?
No, but I'm trying. I know there's only a couple games left, but I need to get on it. I need to go.
You got to go. Tyrese is really out there. Tyrese Halliburton, he's making a name for us.
Then we got Obi Toppin. Well, up next, Nike's Air Force Runs becoming a rarity. We have more on that and all the latest in entertainment with Kendall Pearson coming up in less than 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
How about those Nuggets this year, Jace? It sounds like a chip to me.
They ain't going back to back. Ain't no one getting past Boston. They got a super team, man.
All right, Jace, check up. This is the last call. Jace and I head-to-head on football, baseball, basketball, and everything UIndy.
Mondays, 6 p.m. Uindytv on YouTube and Xfinity Stream Channel 1096.
Now may be the time to stock up on your favorite Nike silhouettes, as you'll be seeing them much less.
No.
I know, sadly. Why you may ask? Well, the company has announced it will be decreasing supply of their Nike Air Force Ones and the Nike Pegasus sneakers in hopes of boosting their demand for those products. I already have a lot of Air Force Ones. In addition to that, Nike also wants to make more room available for their other sneaker silhouettes. This all comes after Nike's recent and consistent uptick in their retailers offering discounts for their slower moving products just to clear inventory. These discounts have decreased the value of the Nike sneakers while still being overstocked. Although the company knows it will take an even larger decrease in sales for the first year of these changes, Nike says in the long run, their products will increase in price and decrease the amount of discounts dished out. Nike has also cut 1,700 jobs so far this year as they are working towards saving around $2 billion on costs.
Goodness. I mean, Air Force Ones, Uptowns, whatever you call them. I'm from the East Coast, so we call them Uptowns, Air Force Ones, you know, whatever it is. I mean, that's just a staple shoe.
I was going to say, Nelly has a whole song about it, Stumping in my Air Force Ones. I was like, that's why I had to get them.
Exactly. It's such a great shoe. It's versatile. It's just a white plain sneaker.
And it goes with any outfit.
You can dress it up. You can dress it down. Nike, please don't do this to us. Well, on to other news. Meteorologist Maddie Fisher is back. And I've been hearing rumors of potential snow. Please tell me it's not true.
It is true, but not for us. Some parts of the Midwest and Plains are experiencing more snow this week than they did the entire winter season. Out of season and almost out of nowhere, inches upon inches of snow have blanketed the majority of north central United States. Minnesota, Wisconsin, North Dakota are among the most affected by the snow. 76 straight hours of snow pummeled Minnesota just yesterday. The hit was so intense that it has attracted an out-of-state snow company to help tackle all of the snow. Portions of Interstate 70, 94, and 90 have been temporarily closed, and hundreds of flights have been grounded, delayed, or canceled. We're lucky we're not dealing with that. However, if you've noticed the windiness happening in Indianapolis, that is a result of this system moving through. It's about run its course, which is why we're going to see the temperatures warm up a little bit. Let's go ahead and talk about what you can look at outside. 41 degrees, partly cloudy, feels like 33 with those 12-mile-per-hour winds coming from the west. Again, that's from that system moving right through, so don't throw your jackets away just yet. We're going to have that wind for a couple more days, but at least we're not getting the snow. Thank goodness.
You're scaring me with the snow. I can't do it. I love to drive too much. That's why I got to move out the Midwest.
Exactly. And it's like, I mean, she said it's not coming here, so let's hope it's not coming here. I can't deal with snow. I'm tired of pulling out this winter coat every other day. Exactly. Spring is upon us. Please, just give us all the temps that we're wanting. Well, now for one of my personal favorite segments on the newscast, entertainment with our amazing Kendall Pearson. But first, we want to wish you a very happy birthday, Kendall. It's a very special one, your 21st birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you guys so much. You're literally the best. Starting off with the
documentary all 2000s kids need to watch. Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV is a 4-episode documentary that was released this month. It explores the toxic culture behind some of the most iconic children's shows in the late 90s and early 2000s, including shows such as iCarly, The Amanda Show, and Drake and Josh. The 4-part series interviews former writers, crew members, and child actors who describe the dysfunctional and sexualized environment in which they worked in. Drake Bell, who is now 37, appears on the show and for the first time shares the abuse he suffered at such a young age. And other actors such as Jeanette McCurdy, Alex Nicholas, Angelique Bates, and Amanda Sullivan have also come forward. There are numerous actors who are still terrified to share their stories. Convicted sex offender Brian Peck, the dialogue coach for Nickelodeon, served only 16 months for his wrongdoings. After his release, he went back to working with children and helped with the making of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Dan Schneider, the producer and screenwriter of multiple Nickelodeon shows who allegedly sexually assaulted, acted inappropriately towards multiple children on set, and sexualized child stars, didn't appear in the documentary, but made a statement on his YouTube channel. He said, quote, "Watching over the past 2 nights was very difficult. Me facing my past behaviors, some of which are embarrassing and that I regret, I definitely owe some people a pretty strong apology." On to some celeb news. Hip-hop star P. Diddy is on vacation, but not willingly. His homes in Miami and Los Angeles were raided just weeks after he was accused of sexual misconduct and alleged trafficking. The rumor now is he is at the Caribbean in Antigua. Law enforcement officers raided his mansion in LA, located in Holmby Hills, which is also home to the Playboy Mansion. Homeland Security did not confirm the reasoning for the raid, but the Associated Press reported that 2 officials said it was part of an alleged sex trafficking investigation. HSI also said in a statement in the media that it had, quote, executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners. The photo behind me shows P. Diddy's flight route as he was in LA, went down to Miami, found out his Miami house was getting raided, and then so he went way down south. I hope him and his crew members have a very wonderful vacation. If you're an Adam Sandler fan, I have very good news. Happy Gilmore actor Christopher McDonald says that a sequel is in the works. The 69-year-old actor played antagonist shooter McGavin in Adam Sandler's 1996 sports comedy film. Christopher was on a U.S. sports podcast, The Ken Carman Show, with Anthony Lima, when he said, quote, "I saw Adam about 2 weeks ago, and he says to me, 'McDonald's, you're gonna love this.'" Adam then proceeds to show him the first draft of Happy Gilmore 2. A release date has not been announced for the movie, and the studio has yet to announce the project. Deadline has reported that the film will be on Netflix, in which Adam Sandler has a long-time deal with. That's all I have for entertainment today. Let's head back on over to the desk with Naya and Elijah.
I am so happy Kendall said a movie about Adam Sandler. I've been missing him so much out here.
Yes, he's such a classic. He's iconic. We missed you, Sandler. And again, happy 21st birthday to you, Kendall. We'll see you next week. Coming up, we've got a well-known R&B artist coming to downtown Indy. Can you guess who? Find out who it is right after this short break.
Emma Donnan, elementary and middle school. Discover the Donnan difference. A school where you can celebrate others. Come together as a community. Be a part of a learning environment where students and teachers are appreciated. Emma Donnan, a culture that can't be beat, that's going onward together. A school filled with love. Emma Donnan.
I love my school.
Of course, we've got some concert news, some exciting things to get you guys into. This fall, we will have a 3-time Grammy Award winner right here in Central Indiana. Can you guess who?
Rihanna?
That is a really good guess. Riri does need to make her way here, but it's actually Maxwell. He'll be performing at Gainbridge on Wednesday, October 9th at 7 p.m.
Of course, I should have guessed. Maxwell is a well-known R&B artist, and his performance will be opened by Jasmine Sullivan, who is a 2-time Grammy Award winner and rising star October London. Maxwell's Grammys were for Best Male R&B Vocal Performance, Best R&B Album, and Best R&B Song.
You won't want to miss out on all the fun. Pre-sale tickets became available this morning at 10 a.m. and will be available until tomorrow at 10 p.m. Tickets for the general public will open up Friday the 29th at 10 a.m. And don't forget, I won't let you guys forget, Bryson Tiller will also be coming to Central Indiana in June at a different venue. I already got my tickets. What concerts are you looking forward to?
I'm looking for Midwest and Chicago, actually.
Woo!
Thank you for joining us here on Uindytv News.
Tune in next week at 6 p.m. to Uindytv on YouTube and Xfinity Channel 1096 for your weekly news update.
As always, have a good night.
And be safe, Indy.